Hi, I have in front of me here a roll of global 100 metre fibre optic pre-terminated cable with FC PC connections on it. You can see the actual roll here in front of me, and you can see the pre-terminated connection here, and there's a similar one on the bottom here. It's just designed in such a way that you can actually access both ends of it, both pre-terminated connections very handily. So the actual roll itself is very robust in design. Just 3 central metal pins hold it together, and it's an MDF timber here. It holds it. There's a label on the outside here, just gives a description of the cable, it gives the overall length, and it just gives the part number on it. But all the cables we sell are basically part of the Global 700 series, okay? So let's talk about the cable itself then. What's the key aspects of it? Well, the outer diameter of the cable itself is 3 millimeters. It's PVC coated outer layer on it, and there's a steel armour protection inside the cable to protect the fibre optic itself. It's LSZH rated, which means that it's low smoke, zero halogen, and this is very important for commercial jobs because it's often a legal requirement. Basically it means that it's non-halogenated flame retardant, so if there's a fire it won't emit dangerous smoke, and the PVC coating means that it's suitable for both internal and external use. What I've done in front of me here is I've actually just have a connector where I've taken off the dust cap, which you can see here, and you can just see here this plastic cover protects the fibre optic inside. We have a connector here and there's a small notch on it, and the notch just allows us to line it up, let's say if we're using with a barrel connector or putting it into a switch or a splitter, we can push it in and then we can just use the threading on the outside casing here just to lock it into position. What we have, when we look at the cable itself there, the outer diameter, as I mentioned earlier, is 3 millimeters. Inside here we have some protection braiding, and inside there what we have is some steel armour. And this gives it great strength and protects the cable from being cut or damaged. Inside there's yet another layer, and finally on the very inside is we have the actual fibre optic cable itself. Now the outer diameter of the fibre optic cable is 0.25 millimeters, so you can see that less than a tenth of the overall diameter is made up of the fibre optic, and then the vast majority of the cable itself is made up in layers protecting that fibre optic cable internally. If we came along and we looked at the applications of this cable, it'd be used in something like the telecommunications industry, also be used for speed data transfer, data rooms, and also we'll say in the television distribution area. In fact, fibre optic is so versatile and has such capacity, it can actually be used for all 3 at one time. We can think of many applications and telecommunication providers who are using it for that very purpose. If we looked at our own range here, we have pre-terminated fibre optic cables running from 5 metres all the way up to 200 metres. There's about 7 different cables inside that range, so all the key sort of lengths are there. And a great thing with fibre optic is that if you want to use a pre-terminated cable, you can very neatly just loop the unneeded parts of it and just put it out of the way there, and it won't affect the overall speeds on the cable itself. In terms of the additional products that would stock, would obviously stock things like fibre optic joiners, but also let's say splitters, and for people would say who'd be using applications for putting in sky homes or putting in satellite systems for hotels and using fibre optic, we'd have a number of LNBs and Quattros, etc. So that's it anyway, an overview of a roll of global 100 metre pre-terminated fibre optic cable.